Rauli, Harvia published its third quarter results today, and the results seemed catastrophic or not so good, but how would you put it?
Yeah, I think the result itself was decent, but if we start from the top line, it was quite bad compared to expectations. It was 37 million, down almost 20% from the previous year, and the expectations were like 42 was the consensus, I think, and we were even above that. So compared to that, quite a big drop across the European markets. So double-digit declines in all the European markets, and close to 40% in Germany. So obviously the weakening consumer environment and the very high demand last year is now visible in the figures, and we have known, of course, that will be the case in the coming quarters, and now it's just a question of how will that be distributed and how deep is the kind of the dip in the quarters. But then if we go into the earnings, it was actually in line with consensus if we look at the EBIT line below us, but the margin was still the 20%, which is the company's target, or to be above the 20%, clearly down from last year, which was a very good level last year, but given the big drop in sales, I would say the margin level and the earnings level was quite okay.
How they defended the margins quite well, so can they adjust their cost base so well, or what was behind that?
Yeah, so it seems so. So looking at both gross margin and EBIT margin, they were actually both more or less in line with our expectations, even though the top line was I think it was over 10% less than we expected. So yeah, it seems that they are actually able to. We have known that they have adapted at least their production staff already a few times during this year, but it seems that also the kind of more fixed cost, let's say, sales and marketing and overheads is perhaps more flexible than we have thought.
The present value of the company is, of course, the future cash flows discounted to this day. So in which light should we think about this quarter? It's only one quarter, it's only 3 months.
Yeah.
It didn't look that good if we think about the revenue. But how would you think Harvia, the big picture after these results?
Yeah, like I said, we have known that these coming quarters will be more or less bad and going down from the very high levels from previous years. So I wouldn't kind of put too much emphasis on one individual quarter, and we will have still, I think, less good quarters to come as well. But looking over the coming years, I believe that Harvia is in a very good position, and the market will eventually recover. So yeah.
But now it's a question how long the sauna will stay cold.
Yeah,
is it 1 year or 2? Or?
Yeah, that's the question. That's the question, and that how low will it basically go in the coming quarters, and when we will see the recovery starting. But definitely, if we compare to the previous year, it will not start before next summer, since the comparables are quite high. Yeah. But thus far, Harvia has pointed to lowering demand, yes, to some extent, but also especially to retailers destocking. So of course that's a very important impact to understand and see that if it's only a destocking impact in the supply chain, then it should be over in a few quarters basically, or at least that impact should be over. Yeah. So then the figures should be a bit better if we kind of only see the weakening of the end demand.